And that brings us to First Things First, the title track of the record, boys. Caleb, share with the people of what really, I mean, it stirred it up in all of us. This is the song that kind of brought us back.
Yeah, we thought we were done, and we were just fine with that. I remember you're gonna hear us three brothers talk a lot about all the things that our Father imparted into us as we go through these songs. And one thing that he was famous for saying in our lives was that if God's called you to it, nobody should be able to talk you into it, and nobody should be able to talk you out of it. And, before he passed, you brought up on, a couple songs ago how Dad got to hear so many of these songs. And I remember coming down the stairs as we were going through all these songs and pondering on coming back, and his left side being paralyzed, he raises his right arm, and I hold his hand, and he looks at me with tears in his eyes. And it took a lot out of him, from being in bedridden for so many years, for him to muster up the strength sometimes to just talk, and he tells me, he says, "Son, you know what you're called to do." And man, it choked me up, and tears just poured down my face. Because in the night season after First Things First, after we wrote this one, this would be the first song out of all the hundreds of songs we've been a part of writing that I would wake up back-to-back nights out of my sleep singing First Things First. I seek your will, not my own. Surrender all my wants to you. Just never in all my years. We've been doing this since I was 12 years old. We started out over 100 dates playing youth groups, coffee shops, you name it. We were hitting the pavement, man. And first time in my life I woke up singing a song that we wrote. And the wild thing that's so bizarre about that is we weren't even planning on singing it. It's just it was a song right out of our hearts, a prayer out of our spirit in the season of life we're in. But
where we were just in writer's mode during that time. Yeah. Because we were, if you ever been in that situation, I'm speaking to the listener for a moment. Have you ever been in that situation where you were telling God what you were going to do? and you were telling him your plans and just kind of unloading and venting on the Lord? First of all, I'll tell you he could take it. Second of all, I'll tell you, that's where our band name came from too. It's in a situation in Jeremiah chapter 20, verse 9. And it's so, it lines up so much with First Things First. When you look at the meaning of this song, what it's about, it's so funny to me how I see the parallels with the name of our band and how that came about, and our story and all of it. So when you look at it, again, you're in that situation, you're telling God what you're going to do. You're going, hey, I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done with this. Here's my checklist. And Jeremiah was in the same place. We get our name of our band, Consumed by Fire, from a place in Jeremiah chapter 20, verse 9, where he says, when I say I'm done, when I say I won't mention your name anymore, your word, it burns in my heart like a fire, and I become weary of holding it in. Indeed, I cannot. There comes a time after you've told God everything you're going to do and not do, that the word that is on the inside of you begins to burn on the inside of you like a fire. And as much as you say you're not ever going to talk about it, as much as you say, I'm not getting on another platform, I'm not taking another mic, I'm not making another post, I'm not writing another book, I'm not saying another word about this stuff because it's only brought me this. The word stirs up, it burns in you like a fire, and you realize it wasn't meant to just stay on the inside of me. It's just got to be let out, and the Holy Spirit brings it out. And in this case, Caleb telling the story, he brought it out in his sleep. You're going to do what you are called to do. And I believe salvation and the greatest miracles come when we come to the end of ourselves, when we come to the point of saying, not my will, but yours be done. Then we can see the hand of God at work. Because I think the only thing we can bring of any value to the table of grace is our surrender. And at the heart of this song, at the heart and the core and the meaning of this song is a song of surrender. It's a prayer of saying, okay, God, after I've said everything I'm going to do, thanks for listening. I surrender to the first thing you told me to do. And this is the heart of it, is getting back to our first love.